Can they see us? How's the sound? Testing. Hello, guys. Welcome back. We have an exciting show today. We are going to talk about Vegas, like the good, the bad, the ugly. We might have a few rants. We're going to go down a few rabbit holes. But we have back with us, due to popular demand, Scott Morrow, Professor Scott Morrow.
Always a pleasure to be on the curvy couch with you, David.
The curvy couch. Look at the we got the sheets in the back. You know, the hanging. It looks so loungy here, huh? All right.
Yeah.
So
I love the vibe.
It's a fantastic vibe. This is our VIP lounge, dude. We have this crap table behind us was custom made by a cabinet maker. It's a fantastic piece. Our GM spin strategy is literally named after this table. He made it with his hands, his own two hands. All right, so this is the #1 guest. As you guys know, I don't do a whole lot of podcasts, but Scott called me up and said, "Hey, we're overdue, dude. It's been years.
Yeah.
It's literally been years." And
I was going to be in town for a couple days.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the new space.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It
10,000 square feet of amazement.
10,000 square feet. We started in 800 square feet,
Yeah.
So we've grown.
You got a raise.
We did get a raise. Yeah. It came with this smile. No.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to answer some really good questions. We're going to provide a lot of feedback about gaming, about Las Vegas, everything that's been going on. On Casino Quest, I've done quite a few videos about kind of the nature of everything here in Vegas, the value proposition that's lost, some of the branding issues that we have. We're going to talk about the Golden Gate. And first, I want to lean in a little bit. So some of you may be new to our channel. And just so you know, Scott is a legendary boss here in town, a dealer. And he's been doing this a very long time. And I say that with all modesty. I know that you don't necessarily see yourself that way, but he has opened some of the landmark properties throughout the world. Like, you have played a role in their opening. You literally have your finger on the pulse. And one of the pulses we're going to talk about later, that $3 game a little bit.
Like that.
But, okay, so my first question out the gate, the one thing that I think a lot of people have been talking about the most lately is Vegas has lost its value. So what do you think about that?
I saw it going like 10 years ago. It started happening.
Yeah.
But I think Las Vegas missed a very big opportunity coming out of COVID. We're at COVID.
Yeah.
We're coming out of COVID. A chance to hit reset. A chance to forgive all the sins that we've done in the past. A chance to get rid of parking fees. A chance to get rid of the dreaded resort fee. Mm-hmm. A chance to get back to 3-2 blackjack or real value on the floor.
Yeah.
And they missed it.
They did. They
totally missed it.
They went for all the money. Yeah. They didn't want some of that check. They wanted the whole check. They really did.
Piece. Yeah, it's disappointing. It really is, because when I first got to town, it was amazing. Just before the Mirage opened up, 1989, 1990. Really, really awesome. We used to go to, my wife Karen and I, we used to go to
Ellis?
No, oh man, across from the Rio.
The Gate, Horseshoe, Gold Coast?
Gold Coast. We go to
yeah.
Gold Coast, Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Get the prime rib dinner each, special,
yeah.
And they had the crab leg special. We get that for the appetizer.
Yeah.
All in $40 with the tip.
Yeah.
Now it's $40 for the appetizer.
Yeah.
It's
or
just,
the drink.
Yeah, drinks are brutal.
Dude, it's so crazy.
Prices were so high, I gave up drinking.
We can kind of, just so you know, like there's a $95 baked potato, right?
Yeah.
There are $35 parking fees. It's not just not pay to park.
It cost me $50 to park at the Wynn.
Yeah.
Okay, my buddy calls me up. Hey, I want to take you out to dinner. Awesome. I get in the wrong lane. Now I'm in the valet lane. $50 later without the tip.
Yeah, there's no tip. Yeah.
I'm in 50 with no zook.
No zook.
Yeah.
I used to be able to park at VIP, the Caesars VIP valet, for $0 if they had space. They didn't charge you.
Yeah.
You just hooked up the valet. That's how they made their money.
Right.
There was no fee. It was always free. You see.
But there's still value in town.
There is still value.
There's still value, but you have to know where to look.
Yeah, you have to know where to look.
All right, and I really appreciate that you bring these up, because it's for your viewers and your team.
Yeah.
They need to know where to go because
we're
just
gonna
coming in blind to Las Vegas, can't do that anymore.
Yeah, we're going to help you out. We're going to give you some opportunities that we think there is some value now. In fact, the Vegas is definitely reacting to all of the value issues, right?
Right.
And so now they are starting to kind of change.
Now.
It's literally front page like all the time.
Right.
With social media influencers, the news. I just read
when
CEO
Bill,
Hornbuckle.
When Bill Hornbuckle's on the front page,
he admitted. You spent $12 on the room and $12 on a coffee, dude. You got, this is a little bit of a disconnect, right? All right, so where do you think is the biggest value in Vegas? Like the number one, if you were to be as a gambler, let's say as a gambler. Oh, you mentioned earlier, identify who you are when you come to Vegas. Know who you are.
Yeah, know who you are.
Right?
Before you buy your plane ticket, before you make your reservations, who are you? Am I a value player? Well, then you got to look for the value destinations.
That's it.
If you're in the middle of the road, you're doing well, and you want to take the family out, or you want to take your wife out, or do something, there's places to go. If money doesn't matter, we've got all those places.
Yeah, we got plenty of those.
We got plenty of those, but don't be afraid to go off strip.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid. The top three for me, I think, would be Ellis Island for sure, Palace Station for sure.
Yeah.
South Point, dude.
South Point's a great value.
I just spent some couple days at South Point.
I agree.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's Scott's rule number one? If I have to pay to park, I'm not pulling in.
Yeah.
You don't
have to pay there. Free valet and free parking throughout the whole property.
Right.
I
free
went
valet at South Point.
Yeah, free
I
valet.
rolled up on South Point, $5 tip.
Yeah.
On King Kong.
It's a big ass, $5. Yeah, really. They might leave you up front for $5 actually. I went to their deli. And then I went to a strip deli. So I had this big sandwich. Mm-hmm. It was cheaper than Subway at their deli. I was stunned. The sandwich I normally get, the foot long now, because Subway is not like $5 subs have long gone, dude. There's no more of those, dude. You gotta, God forbid you juice it a little bit, you end up paying a little more. But I got it for $9, which is like $1. That was very competitive, let's say. And I was inside a casino space. I was literally stunned. I was expecting
nice place too.
$20, and it's a nice place.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also have 3-2 blackjack. They're one of the few places left 3-2 blackjack.
Ellis plays 3-2.
One takeaway on South Point is they only do double odds on craps, and sometimes they'll shut down the propping bets. So I know that for some of our crap players, it can be a little, if you like to hop bets, things like this, it'd be a little frustrating. But the good thing about those crap tables is no shenanigans at South Point. Everyone locks the tables down. They've got good dealers, very friendly dealers,
right? And
you go there to play. They'll move that money around. You know what I mean? That's why it's double odds. No shenanigans. Like no one trying to grind out the table. You go there to actually just play, or not.
Right.
All right. So Ellis is a fantastic value.
And they just spent $100 million on the upgrade.
Yep.
And didn't raise one price. How strong is that?
So
that's why they're at the top of my list.
Yep.
That and the fact that Nick and Steve went there.
Yeah, they're great people.
Nick Faber and Steve Sear.
Yeah, and Frank
is
program. Yeah, Steve Sear. Yeah, the legendary host of Vegas. Yeah. Legendary super host. Yeah, he wrote the book, the Whale. He literally wrote the book. Yeah, the Whale Hunter. I love Ellis. I think Ellis is a fantastic destination. Yeah,
if you're into the craft beers, they make them by scratch. They got the root beer.
Yeah,
don't get me started
tables.
On the barbecue.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the barbecue.
And they've renovated. I just sent out a newsletter for our CQ Nexus people. They've renovated the whole space. They're still working on one space.
I was there 2 weeks.
But it's beautiful. Everyone says it's absolutely beautiful.
I told my friend, if I put a blindfold on you and walked you in, took the blindfold, tell me where you're at.
You wouldn't know. You're
not saying Ellis.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Hey, just so you know, Ellis used to be, what did you call it? This is where we used to pay off our floors, the layup joint. Yeah. So, because that was the closest place to the strip, and they would give you your first free beer. They incentivized all the dealers going there. Yeah. And so if your boxman was basically corrupt, dude. I mean, they were all corrupt. But you have to pay him off. You had to give him a piece. Everybody went and did the share. I was on a crap screw at the IP. And our boxman, that's what we just met him and gave him his share because he would look the other way as people were, generating tips on the table.
Only if he wants to meet me at Ellis later on.
Yeah. I never knew that was a thing. That was the very first time I was introduced to that. I you know what I mean? And he wanted my entire envelope, that first night's envelope. That was sort of the entry.
Shakedown.
Yeah, it was a total shakedown, dude. I love that you are identifying, if you're coming to Vegas, if you're coming here to gamble, as much as it's nice to have a cheap room, because a lot of casinos will give you the room for cheap, and
Right.
but once you get there, if everything
crush
else
you
is
on
so,
everything else.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a takeaway from what you're going to gamble. Like if you're here to be a gambler, you should really go to a place where you don't have to spend so much. That's why, Ellis, of course, Palace, some of the station properties are having deals. If you're a local, right now, Caesars, 25% off all their restaurants. To go, if you're a local, 25% off. I'm going to take advantage of that. I think that's a fantastic win.
They've got some good spots. It works on their buffet too.
I think it works on any restaurant that I know of. I guess there's some properties that are that might be outside of that. So let me ask you this: so do you think that they're going to, like, after Hornbuckle talked about the value thing? Do you think that they're going to come back? Do you think they're going to reinvent? Do you think they're going to look and go down and try to talk to the gambler again?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so, that they would make that commitment. MGM's got such a unique situation that they do such a great job with all the other amenities, their concerts, their fights, their spa, the restaurants. They've got a lot going on. So the gaming component goes from, back in the day, 70, 80% in the casino,
Yeah.
35% now.
35%.
Yeah,
That's
so
literally the posted numbers.
35.
That's about 35.
legit?
It's a literally
Yeah,
legit
so
number.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's really hard to buy into that. To me, like when I go in, if someone's asking for my help, first thing, if I see a 000 roulette on the floor, please take that out. You're just embarrassing your guests.
Yeah.
You're taking advantage of folks. It sends the wrong message.
Yeah.
I teach at UNLV when we do the roulette segment,
Yeah.
and I introduce 000 roulette. I stop the course. Everyone, raise your right hand. Follow after me. I state your name. Solemnly swear never to play 000 roulette, or I lose Mr. Morrow's lifetime guarantee. So that's the fact. I mean, my students will tell you that, but it blows my mind that they have the audacity to even put it out there.
Yeah.
6 to 5 blackjack, I get it.
Yeah.
I really do. Why? Time on device. You know how I am about getting that $60 buy-in.
Yeah.
So when you're working at somebody, if you're working at Wynn, you're not worried about getting a $60 buy-in.
Right.
If you're the boss at these other off-strip places,
Right.
spots we talked about,
Right.
there's folks, hardworking folks coming in. They'd love to make a laydown, but they're short money.
It's short money.
But you don't want to embarrass them to have to walk up to a $15 game.
Right.
Does that sound like $15 is a big number?
It is a big number.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
So
You
first
give
thing
$10.
I want to do is take their temperature. What about the $3? And they think I'm on. They think I need a 12-step program.
Yeah.
But that leads to more. That leads to the buy-in.
Right.
That buy-in leads to the prop bets.
Right.
And you're the craps guru. You got the craps following.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
You
From
get
an
them
started.
standpoint.
Yeah.
Your crap players. No, forget about your hot bets.
Yeah.
We print money on hot bets, guys. But
That's
just
free
saying,
money, dude. That's free money.
we print money there,
That's
right?
it. And it's there. It's
A
legit.
great stick man
Dude.
generates the prop box,
A great stick man.
puts
That's the thing.
stick down,
The carnival barker.
the carnival bar.
The guy that's making, and that person, by the way, is making the game exciting. A lot of people like those bets because they're just exciting. They add an element to the game, even if they know they bets suck, right? But they still, it's part of that.
But if you have the ability to bet $1 on it,
Yep, fantastic.
now you can get in. Now you can take
Yeah,
the
100%.
shot.
Dollar
But if you're in a
hard ways,
game where they want
parlay.
$5.
Yep.
$5 in the middle. Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's almost like parking.
Yeah, that's like that. All right, so do you know that there was a quad zero wheel that was put out on a casino floor? I won't mention it. It didn't last very long.
Imagine that.
I can. The thing that hurts me the most is a lot of times the casinos take advantage of, and I'm not trying to, they think that people don't know or they don't bother looking, right?
Squares.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that
You can say squares.
most people, like the tourists, especially on the strip properties, they just expect these bodies. They look at the table minimum,
Right.
and the rule set doesn't mean anything. They don't even know how to play. They really have no idea. They're just in Vegas. Here's a blackjack table. I'm gonna go play.
I bet you if you go in any random casino, the first 100 guests that you cut into,
Yeah.
what's the difference between 6 to 5 blackjack and 3 to 2?
They won't know. Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
6 to 5, I can sit down
Yeah.
at $5 and play.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care if they only paid me 12,
Yeah.
you know?
The next thing is they're going to encapsulate a wheel. Have you seen these new wheels? So they have these new wheels where it's the dealer just presses a button, and it spits the ball out. And here's the thing: so it's fully encapsulated, and it might trigger a bonus round where 3 more balls come out.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, and so you would think that roulette is just nothing but side bets, really. It's just
Right.
but they're adding side bets for these bonus bets to where these balls end up, right? And it's worse than like 5. What's the 5 zeros? 5-0 roulette. It's terrible odds.
Yeah.
But these games have gained traction online. They're not in a real world setting, but definitely they're paying attention. Okay, so here's what I got to talk about. Let's get to the value game at the Rio. We're going to talk about the Rio, then we'll go to the gate and talk about the dealer. So the Rio has a value craps game, right?
I know a little bit about
I know
that.
which is fantastic, dude. Our community got so excited. In fact, Alex went out, took his little birds,
Yeah.
and they went and played it and had a wonderful time. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
So tell us about that game.
I got called in to do a consulting gig at the Rio.
Yep.
I met with Grant Rogers,
Yeah.
awesome guy. He runs
Yeah.
the casino. And I'm taking a look at his dead game. You know how I feel about dead
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of things out there, gang, but I never seen a dead game make any money.
Right.
So what do we got to do? It's Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night, like prime time, 10, 11 o'clock at night, dead $15 game. I said, if that was a $3 game, and he's looking at me, but here's the thing. There's special times. My theory is 3-3-3. $3 crap game from 3 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. That's the solid dead time.
Yeah.
But if you've got a reason to bring your team, your followers, other dealers in town to come in and experience the joint, where they can buy in for $60.
$60.
You're in.
That's
now,
it.
now you get 3 stacks.
3 stacks.
You're fat. For $60.
That's true.
Right? And you get the chance to play. I ran that by Grant. He's like, wow, let's give it a shot. So it gets going. It gets a little bit of steam. Alex gave me a buzz. I said, let me send him an email. Let him know you're coming over. That's awesome.
Our community has loved it. I will say, without any doubt. There's a lot of people that want a lower bar, especially to get started, right?
Right.
So
and
it breaks the
time on device.
That's right.
They want to play.
That's it.
You can't play $15.
Yeah.
You need a $300 bankroll to play $15.
At least. That's what I tell people. Yeah, 100%.
Every nickel needs.
And if you're buying in for 100,
every nickel needs $100.
100% or more. To have flexibility on the table. I tell people now, if you're buying in for $100 on a $15 game, you should probably play something else. That's because you're short money. You're stuck. Yeah. There's no flexibility in the game. You can't really create any especially on a dice game.
If you don't catch magic quick,
like right away.
It's a short story.
It's a short story. Yeah. I love that Rio was willing to take that risk because I do love the idea that they really played to that. That's a community thing. And there's a lot of people with money that are learning. They come here, they learn the game, and they want to start at a lower level so that
now you have a place to send them.
That's it, 100%. So we obviously we work with Ellis and Palace.
I did that when I had the privilege of being a director at Palace Station.
Yep.
I had $3 game.
Yeah. And it's successful.
Staff didn't really like it at first.
Yeah.
But once they get over the hump that it's a $3 game, plus who's the first guy I called? For the refresher on, I need the press, David. I need the presses. Give me the presses.
I know.
I'm writing up the.
By the way,
proposal.
10 o'clock at night, this guy's calling me. The one person I'm going to answer the phone, Scott Morris, calling me up on the phone. It's
it
like
was
what?
from Hawaii. It was
so you're on a different time zone.
On a different time
That's
zone.
okay. I was playing World of Warcraft at the time, so it was a nice little distraction.
But yeah, like you really helped me put my proposal together.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But I mean, let's talk from the operator side.
Yeah.
Breakage.
Yep.
$3 each, 6
Lots
and 8.
of breakage.
3 each, 6 and 8.
Free money.
Right? Every time it hits, every time they win, they lose.
The casino wins 50 cents on the 6
no
and 8.
matter what.
20 cents on the 5 and 9.
A million
60
rolls at the end of the year.
That's a lot of.
That's a lot of 50
cent pieces. Yeah, because you don't pay them.
5 and 9.
Yeah.
20 cents.
20 cents.
Come on.
Yeah.
Right down the road.
Free money.
Yeah. I'd rather have them bet 3 each, 6 and 8 than 6 each.
That's it.
6 each, I got to pay 7.
That's it. I mean, and by the way, players I don't think mind, especially because they get to engage the live game.
Time on device.
Yeah, so they love it because it's kind of like a trade-off, but it's a win-win for everybody.
Same with 6 to 5.
If the casino's willing to get to that level, yeah.
Right.
I think that's just that's a genius thing. All right, so here let's shift games. So I love the value proposition. I love the fact Ellis has $5 games.
Yeah. And 3-2.
And 3-2. Palace has $10 games, but I mean, it's a great place for the entire. They have a lot of cheap food options, that kind of thing.
I love Palace. I mean, I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
Because
I love
there,
Palace.
But why do we love Palace?
Yeah.
Chris Fleischer.
Chris Fleischer, man.
Leadership, man.
That's true. Leadership. I love Palace because the dealers there. Me and Dennis went there the other day, and I know you guys we go in and we see another dealer hugging a player, and just you're able to have this. There's this morale part of it,
That's
and
the
the fun, the culture part of it.
Yeah.
That is just so. You don't see that at a lot of casinos.
You got to create the culture.
Yeah.
That's step one from being a leader.
Yep.
I mean, we talk about this all the time.
Yep.
If you're working for me, you either love working for me or you
Yeah.
want to put a hit out.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you better put the hit quick because you're going to be going real soon.
But I think that message sometimes is lost, especially in this day and age. You
Right.
know, where we're moving dealers off the floor quickly instead of them. Let them take a pee with everybody else. Let them engage, especially if their personalities. Let the morale. I think that camaraderie, that feeling that I belong, is that community thing. You know how many times I've gotten off a table. And if I see a dealer that waves to me and says, "Hey, thanks, Dave," I bet for them, whatever the case. You feel good. You feel like, hey, that was the right place to be.
now.
Made it feel better. Yeah, it's my
it's
place
your
now.
place.
100%.
Right.
When we go play craps, so we play craps. So we did the big birds. We brought big birds down to Palace. We beat it for $20K.
20.
13 win. We were in 7 plus 13. Just, you know what I mean? It was fantastic. Paul, Mark, all you guys, thank you so much. And we loved it there because everyone treated us well. The dealers were friendly.
Right.
Everyone was friendly. The pit managers were friendly.
That starts at the top.
We could have gone anywhere. We're playing 750 across. In Bellagio, everybody would have loved us, but we would have had different experience. You know what I mean? And when
Bellagio,
we went
you're just another fish in the
dude,
pond.
Bellagio were nothing. Yeah,
Right?
that would have been,
You're just
100%.
another fish, but you're King Kong at Palace.
King Kong.
King Kong
Who
at
doesn't
Palace.
like to be King Kong at the
It's
casino?
It's
dude?
good to be the king.
Yeah. Then we got to the steakhouse. We had a great time. We know all those people there.
Yeah.
And the steakhouse, you can eat $50.
They do a great job.
You know what I mean? By the way, best calamari in town.
Carrie's still at the steakhouse bar.
Oh, really?
Shout out to Carrie. Yeah.
Oh, still working there? Someone you know?
She's wonderful. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's a great thing. Okay, so let's get on to a subject that I did a video on that we had. By the way, we'll stop for some questions. If anybody has questions, or God forbid there's super chats in there. Is there a few of those?
There's one super chat.
Yeah.
It's just ask.
Go.
I think I finished the online crafts course. It wasn't clear if I did.
Oh, really?
Should we get some type of certificate?
Yeah, there should be a certificate generated, depending on if you took it on the Nexus or the. Send us a email to support@CQ Nexus.
Yeah, that was from Aaron Cruz.
Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Cool.
Just send an email to support@CQ Nexus.
Yeah, but
So-
there are some few interesting chats.
Oh, there's some questions so far.
There's some people saying that they're not gonna come to Vegas till F1's gone. So
Yeah.
December.
That I don't blame. All right, ready? Well, here, a lot of F1 stuff.
Oh no, just some.
Did you
people.
put that in the chat? Here, yeah, because he loves F1. He's a big F1 fan. So he didn't care that he waited in traffic for 6 hours, at a time. He was just waiting to get. We'll get to that in a
I
minute.
did the flamingo flyover the other night.
Oh, did you
I
really?
was like, oh, I hope this is correct.
Yeah, the F1 is F1. I'm not the biggest fan of F1 for the Strip. I know it's just one of those things. I feel like the casinos kind of lost out on that equation. But I will say this year they built it up much faster. They haven't interfered. The traffic has flowed. I've actually been down the Strip,
Yeah.
and it's run pretty smoothly. The thing I hate the most about F1 is when they put in all the seating, and then you can't walk the Strip anymore. You're literally prohibited from doing what you do on the Strip. You see,
Right.
so but I think that they're learning, and I'm happy that they're actually learning and evolving.
Right.
And Vegas is a F1 destination, and Jet loves it, so they're,
Well, look at the calendar. It
Yeah.
was one of the worst calendar weeks of the year.
Yeah.
Now it's big time.
Now it's a bigger thing.
It's really, really beneficial to the high end joints.
To the
When they sell out those private jet slips.
That's it. But not to
over at
everybody. But not to everybody else, though. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
well,
Yeah.
I said the high end.
The high end joints. Yeah.
Yeah.
So high end joints do well. Everyone else kind of just take it in the pants.
What's the ancillary too, though? The town gets a big blast.
Yeah.
International blast.
International
All
blast.
Jets buddies get to tune in.
Yeah.
They get to do that big zoom in drone shot of the strip.
Yeah.
It's you can't count the marketing that comes.
No,
out of
and
it.
I think over time it'll. The first
It's
2
a
years
drag
were
for the
rough.
locals,
Yep. The
total
locals
drag.
aren't.
Right.
I have
But just
so
like
many
the rodeo,
stories.
just like the rodeo
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yep.
How are we going to fill this dead week? Now it's cowboy heaven.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we love the Cowboys, dude. They tip. They gamble and they tip. I love when I worked at the Gold Coast, so
Long
when the
neck
rodeo would come in,
drinking, yeah.
and then we were allowed to wear these like cowboy shirts.
Did you
and
get a hat?
not a hat. We weren't allowed to wear a hat, but it was great because they just lose their minds there. The rodeo people are just fantastic.
They're great.
So I will say I'm happier about F1 now, and I'm glad that they paid off. Like, you know, they made up for the woes of Ellis, and in that corner that got kind of screwed a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. All right, let's get to, I really want to do, one of my biggest stories was about the Golden Gate losing their dealers.
Oh, you're going deep.
Derek Stevens ran all the dealers, closed the dealers.
Derek went to the dark side.
He went to the dark side. So let me frame this very quickly. So there were a couple articles that were done all in succession, and they were all talking about how it was a strip casino. A lot of them mentioned strip casino, you know, eliminates the table game dealers. You can see that there's so much drama around this. You know what I mean? Because it was basically the first casino to lose its casino floor here in Vegas, right? It's been done other places, but here in Vegas, never before table game dealers taken out. And this was like the coming of a new age. Like all of a sudden, is this how the future of Vegas? What do you think, sir? What is your, go ahead.
I think it's a good play for the gate. Why? Gate's small, tiny, limited amenities. What's the toughest hustle in gaming right now? Getting good dealers.
Yes.
Very difficult.
Yep.
The turnover at the gate had to be
High.
super high.
Yeah.
High is an understatement. So you're constantly doing the turnover.
Yep.
So you could circumvent turnover. You could dip your toe in, and how much publicity did they get out of that move?
A lot.
International.
Yeah, it cut the wire everywhere.
Right. Now, are dealers going away? Not in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Not with the number one dealer school in America still in action. Okay? They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But did I like the move? As a traditional, hardcore, old school gaming guy, it was tough. As an operator, I could see.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, there's casinos I go in and I put the interblock product in like in a lounge space.
Yeah.
To make a there's ETGs. There's a place for them.
That's
they,
it.
They had their they got their major introduction during COVID, right?
Yep.
For better or for worse.
Yeah.
They got a big lift, a lot of investment.
Yep.
Do I think it's going to happen at the D? No time soon.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to happen at Circa? No time soon.
Yeah.
At the gate, it hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love Circa. I got great friends there.
I broke in there.
Yeah.
It hurt me a lot.
It was you took it personal.
I did take it personal.
You're taking it very personal.
I did. I at first I was
Dave, it's
very
strictly business.
but as a business decision from Derek Stevens, I agree.
Right.
I actually
You
think
gotta
that
put
that's
your
the
owner's hat on from
that's
there,
right. As
you know?
its own thing, the Golden Gate is a retail player destination.
100%.
In the gaming business, there's two types of players. There's a retail player that sits down on a slot machine. They play less money, less time. They're kind of grinders. Then you have the premium player that comes in, and that's the player that, if you're a Resorts World, you need that player to fill out all those restaurants and expensive rooms. You
Sure.
need that type of player to come into your property. There's none of that at the Gate. Gate has really small rooms. There's not much he can do with it, by the way. It's an antique property. You know what I mean? It sits the way it is. There's not. He can't make it into
I
a
think
Circa.
it gets a lot of restrictions too because it's a classic historical
Yeah, because it's a
place.
historical place, right?
Yeah.
So there's only so much. If you've gone in there, it's a very small area. There's not a lot to work with, you know. And yes, does it have?
One Main Street.
It is
Look
one
at-
Main Street.
one Main Street.
That's where I started my
That's the
career, which
address,
is pretty
dude.
fantastic. One Main had the
One
very
Main Street.
first phone.
How strong is that?
Do you know the first phone there is one? They had the very first phone here in Las Vegas, number one. People used to congregate at the gate and sit there when it was the Hotel or Nevada Hotel, you know, before, when it was just a hotel, before it had gaming. And they would congregate. That was the community space. They also had the first air conditioning. So for Vegas, that was a big deal. You had the first phone and the first air
You
conditioning.
can keep the phone. I'll take the
That
air.
was the destination. They started with 10 hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Right? And of course, there's the transformation. And I worked there under the legendary boss, a little Italian guy named Sal Bruno. He was the day shift pit manager for Craps. He was the pit manager for that place. He had been there forever. He was a bit cranky, but he was a great guy to work with. He really kind of snapped the whip a little bit. But I will say that all the conversations that these like I don't know if the Wall Street Journal, but all of these newspapers and magazines, they were talking about how people are gravitating to all the electronic games. And I don't feel like that's even remotely true. And electronic table games aren't slots.
No.
Someone will play thousands and thousands of dollars on a slot machine to go for, people that are slot players will buy it for thousands, not pay $100 slot machines, $500. People don't interact with ATG table games that way, right? They buy it for $20, $5. These are people that are not going to play the live game. They're not going to be influenced by the peer pressure. They're not going to get excited. There's not going to be the jumping up and down.
Internationally, it's a kind of a different vibe, though, David. With in Macau, they've got their stadium seating.
Right.
Hundreds of terminals for baccarat.
Yeah.
They even have like the curtain for the VIP. I don't want anybody to know.
So baccarat, different story, especially with that segment, because they get very technical. They'll buy in for shit tons of money. I know that that's true. Baccarat Stadium, I will say, is a whole different story. That's right.
Your bubble craps and the
bubble craps roulette. You know what I mean?
grinding.
They're grinding, dude. Those are people that are playing. Now there are stories of influencers playing a lot of money on ETG games, things like that. But most people use that as sort of the entry. Right. If they can't afford the live game, they'll go to that game.
Right. Well, here's my thing on the ETGs.
Yeah.
If that's the only thing in the building,
they're
going to play them.
That's it, right?
So that's where Derek's going.
That's it.
I mean, it's and I've got nothing but huge respect for what he's done downtown. I mean, he
opened in the middle of COVID, dude. You got to give him chutzpah for that.
Yeah.
Literally opened in the middle of COVID. We trained all his dancing dealers.
Yeah.
And we were constantly asked, "You think he's going to open? You think he's going to open?" And I'm like, I really don't know it. I mean, it was a tough time to open, and look what he's made of it. It's pretty fantastic. I mean,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Stadium swim.
The stadium swim is a big deal. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I've only been in the property twice. Since we've been involved.
I really enjoy it. I get.
Yeah. But we went with you. We went to the VIP opening. Remember? Yeah. Opening night, and we saw. The sports book is pretty fantastic.
I'm actually doing course content. I'm doing
really?
all my courses. We're going to be with leadership tomorrow, shooting live in the sports book.
Oh, because they have that like a media room there that overlooks this. Is that where you're going to be?
I'm going to do. Yeah, we're going to.
Oh, that's fantastic, dude. Yeah, that's so they can see it. And I forget what their record is, but they have their sports book is pretty fantastic. You got to go in there. It's got some of the biggest screen. It's like a pretty massive thing.
It's 3 stories tall.
Yes.
Legitimate.
Oh, so that's what it is.
Tall.
It's the screen.
Yeah.
One screen. It's massive.
I watched Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup there.
Oh, really?
I got the last.
We saw a World Series, didn't we? See the finals of the World Series, one of the World Series. That's what we
World
watched.
Series.
Yeah.
And then
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there with Jimmy, your buddy Jimmy.
Yeah. Great Jimmy DeSalms.
He's at I think he's at Fontainebleau. Yeah, now.
He's at the Bleu.
He's at the Bleu. All right, so let me think. So you don't think table game dealers are going anywhere in Vegas?
No.
Yeah, so we're happy. We're gonna have table games for a
be
while.
business.
We'll have some business.
Yeah, it's
some place to
great.
send our dealers.
Right, but I would really like. I would really like the dealers that are in town.
Yeah.
To understand that ownership has options.
Yeah.
And you're not guaranteed another shift. So be nice.
Yeah.
Just be nice.
By the way, that our players are gonna love that. Just that.
Just be nice.
We've been getting a lot of complaints.
It's really tough for me to roll up on some of these games anymore, Dave, because I'm just really disappointed in
lazy.
There's no welcome. There's lazy.
Yeah.
Tripod in the field.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. The one-handed dealer.
A little respect for the game.
I congratulated a guy the other day for having to work in that one hand at this next level. He got so good at working that one-handed deal, just hanging out for dear life, dude, weighing it down. It's just crazy. That takes so long. You would think you would just use 2 hands. It just takes forever to get everybody paid.
Why did God give you 2 hands?
Like, why not just go out there and get done with it? That way you have more time to just relax and just enjoy yourself. Okay. So let me ask you this, dude. What do you got? You got some fires. Let's talk about where you're going and what you're doing. You got some fires out there. Yeah, you got a lot going on, dude.
Yeah, I'm finishing up full time at UNLV, 6 semesters.
Yep.
With the #1 hospitality program in the world. I'm going to go to part time, but that opens up. I'm going to start at the University of Virginia at Wise. So all you Wise students out there, I'm coming soon.
Yeah.
Registration was Monday, sold out one day. Boom.
Yeah.
So they have 2 courses I'll be teaching my Introduction to Casino Management.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys will be highlighted, as always. You're in the videos.
So,
I got the teaching gig going, and
yeah.
I got a really wonderful consulting gig been happening.
Yeah.
So that's been going great.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to be on the bird on the 23rd, flying to Vietnam to oversee a project there to actually bid on.
Yeah.
So if we can get that'll be a game changer.
I know this is going to be something about that I want to talk to. Maybe not so much the community, but so there is that VP at UNLV. He's the one who's promoted the hospitality. He helped UNLV. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now.
What do you mean the VP?
Yeah, he's vice president of UNLV right now.
Oh, Bo Bernard.
Dr.
Bo
Bo.
Bernhardt.
Yeah,
he's the star.
he's in my
He's
in my LinkedIn network, dude. He actually approved me. I was
It's
so
pretty good
proud
be
to
in
get
Dr.
that. Yeah.
Bo's I actually got my brush with greatness last night.
Yeah,
Dr.
really?
Bo sat down with me for a couple minutes
Wow.
at the Rebel game. Yeah.
Yeah, he's all over the
love that
place.
guy.
He
Yeah.
what's-
I saw him do the keynote speaker. He was keynote speaker in Macau.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the most dynamic speaker I ever heard.
Wow.
Name somebody. I'll put up Dr.
Dale
Bo.
Carnegie.
Dr. Bo.
Really?
Yeah, I mean he's
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
Super dynamic, energetic, engaged.
You remember? Oh God, I can't remember his name. I remember I got back to it. The guy that invented Mustang. He was in 1986, I believe.
Shelby?
Boston Cal. No, he created the Mustang for Ford. Lee Iacocca.
Yeah.
He did the commencement speech at Boston College, or the graduation in 1986, I believe, and I heard it. I was in an independent study there. It was right before I went to Mexico.
Yeah.
Which
when you get in that category.
that was an incredible speech. Yeah, it was crazy good.
Yeah.
They wrote a book. They wrote a book about it. It was so good about. But anyways, so the reason why I bring up the hospitality thing is I believe this is a guy with real vision. Vegas is the hospitality destination of the world. I believe we don't care where you're from or who you are. We've always been the place where people come to just be themselves and let loose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I think other places kind of learn from us. Years and years ago, people would joke about, I'm going to be a master of hotel management. Yeah, that's a great place to be. There's a lot of opportunity in hotels and hospitality.
Worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, I mean, and in gaming, and the gaming is sort of the natural, because that's the crux of gaming is hospitality, is engagement with the customer. That's why these casinos succeed, is when people feel like they belong or they want to play. It's really all hospitality. That's a part of it, I think, is that's a part of the equation sometimes that's missed in training with dealers. They know the games, but they lose sight of the hospitality part.
I think that's what makes our UNLV students the top candidates when it's time for recruitment.
Yeah.
Because we're day one. We're on that.
That's it.
Where do you go to school? Hospitality Hall.
That's right.
You're taking your classes in Hospitality Hall.
Yep.
So you're learning from day one all about that, how to engage a guest, service recovery, all those important elements to be a great team member.
When I teach my and then we're going to get to some really good. I have some really big questions about the casino floor that we're gonna take advantage of Scott's expertise. But when I teach my craps class, I say you have a decision. You could be an average dealer, or you could be a great dealer. And a great dealer doesn't mean having hands and things like this. It means engaging with a customer. It's literally just talking, having fun. That's the whole. You get paid money to have fun on a table. That's the option.
Once you can get good enough to deal
Right.
6 and 8, and press 6 and 8, and engage 8 people at the table, that's when you're there.
You can have a lot of fun.
I say it all the time. I mean, why? If you've got to get up and shower, shave, park your car, why do you want to just be okay?
That's it.
Why wouldn't you want to be great?
That's it.
Just be great.
Be great. All right, so here, ready? I got some good ones for you, dude.
I'm here.
What is the most challenging part, do you think, about managing a casino floor? The most challenging part.
Team member morale.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
Team
that.
member morale.
So what's the solve?
The solve is to be engaged. Make sure that they see you as the leader on the floor.
Yeah.
Lead by example.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing was, I used to call it get a piece of everybody.
Yeah.
So know a small talking point
Yeah.
about everybody. How's your kids? If you know someone's got kids,
Yeah.
they can't wait to tell you about their kids.
Yeah.
And if
That's
they
it.
don't have kids, they got a dog or a cat. So, you know what I
Really?
mean? Dude.
Wow.
So if you know a small talking point
Wow.
about every team member,
Yeah.
oh, my wife's about to have a baby. How's your wife doing?
Yeah.
How's the baby? Scott's
Wow.
a good name, two
Yeah.
T's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But little things like that, they really think you care.
They respond to that.
Because what did you just say? Going into Palace Station, I get the hug, I can feel the culture. Do you think that happens by accident?
No.
That's leadership. That's Chris Fleischer
Yeah.
getting down on the floor,
Yeah.
making adjustments.
Yep.
Sometimes adjustments have to be made,
Yep.
and loving up the team members that really do a great
By
job.
the way, he does. He'll stop a person, and he'll talk just anybody. Any employee as they're going, he'll stop them and start. Hey, how
Yeah.
was this? He knows.
What's the chatter?
Yeah, what's the chatter?
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic. And people aren't afraid to come up to him and
all right,
talk
well, here's
and
the
have
other
that
thing,
conversation.
too. What's part of the morale, David?
Yeah.
You got to win the break room.
Yeah.
If you got bad chatter in your break room,
That's true.
that's not good.
Good Lord, morale starts going downhill quick. There's a
I
few
think- I
casinos
think-
I've had to stay out of the breaker just to
I think
avoid all
morale.
that. Yeah, morale. Okay. All right, so here's one. What's a common misconception that you think people have about the casino business?
That it's fixed.
That's true.
It's fixed.
Good Lord, dude. I ready? Oh, okay, stand by. For all of you guys that have been watching a certain person, so here, ready? I'm going to ask you some questions. If I came to Vegas with $300,000 and I wanted to play one hand of baccarat, who would let me do it?
Caesars.
Really?
Yeah.
Just one hand? No time on device. They'd let me
Oh.
go one hand. Nobody. I don't think anybody
I don't think
yet.
anybody.
Nobody. So,
I know Caesars is
all right.
I don't want to say the name.
Yeah, but they'll take some big
the
action.
biggest player in the planet right
Yeah,
now.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, so but
He's betting more than 300,000 a hand.
and we
But
know
But he's
but
got
he has
a
hundreds of millions of dollars,
credit line.
like literally available. So like tons of money. Well, so okay, so there's a guy. Let me frame this for you. There's a guy out there that claims to have won allegedly won so much money at baccarat.
Oh, this Mickey Mope.
There you go.
I think he's a fraud.
So here's the thing. I have literally drilled down. We were going to put together we had filmed a thing, but we decided to kind of skip it because we didn't want to bring any
not
attention
into
to
bad
it.
rap.
No, we won't bad rap it. But
But-
let's talk about just an alleged. Let's just talk about if someone came to Vegas, and if you have enough money, casinos aren't in the gambling business as much as you think they are. They want time on device. They want to know that you're not there for one hand, but you'll be there for 10 hands or hours. This guy that
Dude, we're not in the gambling business. We're in the gaming business.
in the gaming business, that's right. So we're presenting you with this opportunity to play. You're going to win some, lose some. We want to middle that. We want to get our juice out of every bet, basically. That's the thing.
We
Some
want
people,
time on device.
We want time on device. So the question you have to ask yourself is, when you come to Vegas with enough money, first you have to source the money. You have to, if you have enough money to play, you have to be able to prove that you got it by legal means.
KYC.
If you can't, the casino doesn't want your business anymore. And those casinos that have skirted that rule even a little bit, they get fined, and you see it all the time. There's some big properties that have gotten some big fines recently, major fines. And it's not like the corporates are there. It's being done by people that are at the lower levels who are trying to get away with it, bring in these players and take advantage of loopholes.
Yeah.
And then they
Your marketing team has to really be sharp.
Everybody's
and
got to
really
be on it.
understand. And
Right.
you can't circumvent Title 31.
Yeah, you can't circumvent.
KYC, know your customer.
As-
If you don't know the source of the funds,
Yep.
you're going to be in big trouble.
You're going to be in big trouble.
and
So
look at some of the
visibility.
biggest names
Yeah.
out there, like presidents
Yeah.
of big joints,
Yep.
taking big
Yeah,
hits.
taking big hits. So I will tell you this, and you should just put this as a frame of reference, okay? So if you come to Vegas and you have $1 million, let's say, back in the day at the Horseshoe, Teddy Binion was high so often he would take your money. Like literally, he would take your money. Teddy Binion was the only guy that was known here in Vegas where you could come. And there are legendary
Why
stories.
do you think they call it dope?
That's right. And there are legendary stories that are true, by the way, of
Yeah.
someone who bet $1 million on the
Sure.
pass line,
Yeah.
won it one year, lost it the next. That's a true story. We all know it. It actually happened. They paid him in a suitcase. It's a legendary story. But Vegas no longer is in that business. Those bosses are all
That's
gone.
the gambling business.
That's right. That's a gambling business. It's not. The mob doesn't run Vegas anymore. It's all corporate and shareholders. And if you have $1 million, they will not let you bet it. Now, there's a story about a guy on a roulette table. He bet on it was a marketing gimmick. The guy won it. He won $150,000. God bless him, and it got a lot of marketing for Plaza. But if you want to play $300,000, and we talked to a whole bunch of casinos, you would need about $100 million available to you. It's a ridiculous sum of money.
Right.
Like either on credit or liquid, where they know that you can play over time.
Yeah.
They don't want to make that investment on one. They don't want to gamble one hand or two hands. They want that investment over time.
Right.
Anytime you see now one of the stories that upset me a little bit was where he's talking about how casinos cheat, how he had identified.
That's why I refer to him as Mickey the Moat.
Yeah. So when you
Mickey,
do that,
Mikey, whatever, I just go right by it.
You're presenting us a dynamic. Listen, I have lived here for 34. I have made my living and I take myself to be an honest, upright. I have never seen an incident, ever, where a casino, even working for some pretty nefarious. I have worked for, by the way, some bosses who were known to be. I was here in the early 90s, allegedly, where that had mob connect, that were thought to have mob connections and may have been in a bit. I have never known all these stories about dealers pulling the card. No one's ever been in a position where it doesn't make sense. The casinos make so much money, and you risk
You're not
losing.
going to put your license at risk.
That's
number
right.
one.
Yeah.
Number two, random number generators on the slot machines.
That's right.
There's no such thing as a hot slot, a cold slot.
Yeah.
Touch the button,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? It's all nonsense.
Yeah, it's all nonsense.
It's all math.
Yeah, it's all math.
It's all random number generators.
And it's already rigged.
How many stories could we tell?
Yeah.
To your group.
Yeah.
Of a guy left money in the rack, a guy
Yeah.
walked away and left money on the table.
Yep.
Right, and
Yeah.
we locked it up, put a button on it, called upstairs.
Yep.
And now what do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Joey Jones. We got his player's card.
Yep.
We call surveillance. Where's
Yep.
Joey? Oh, he just put his card in the slot machine.
That's right.
Bank number 3. We're bringing that money over to him.
Yeah.
Anybody that tells me
Yep.
Las Vegas is fixed or that's
Crazy
nonsense.
I was on a table at a casino one time that was, let's just say, a poor casino, kind of I've worked a bunch of dives. And you know what they did? We had a guy play the field, took off or hardware, I don't remember, but we took the checks. And there was no player's cards. We didn't know who he was, but he was a regular. We put his chips in a sandwich bag with his name in it, with a back then we had a little we sent it to security. They locked it up, put it in security, and that was there for retrieval. And so the guy came the next day, and we're like, hey,
stories
you know what I mean? Constantly, dude.
Yeah.
Even found stuff on the floor. You know what I mean? Where the casino the box could have easily said, hey, just lock it up. They didn't.
No.
They literally put it in a sandwich bag. They literally got a sandwich bag. Good Lord.
Human assets, financial assets, and the resort's reputation.
Yeah.
When you do things like that, when you do positive things like that,
Yeah.
that word of mouth goes around the country. It goes
That's
around
right.
the world.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a fixed casino in the United States.
There isn't. Even when it comes, there was recently. I know that a slot machine that didn't trigger. So a slot machine was supposed to have triggered that a jackpot was won. Okay. But visually, nothing came up. The person never knew that they had won a jack, and they just went home. They had no idea. Because these slot machines are constantly audited, and they have all these redundant sort of systems.
Yeah.
So they knew that the machine was triggered, even though the person didn't see the visual of it triggered. You see? They never had to tell that person a thing. That person was home, happy, in their lingerie, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Did a similar story
They
yesterday.
tracked that person down
Yeah.
and said, hey, guess what? Your machine won,
Right.
and here's your money. It was hundreds of thousands of dollars, by the way.
This was a $3,000 story that we just covered yesterday.
Oh, really?
Exact same
Yep.
thing. You know those claw machines?
Yeah, the claw.
The claw?
Yeah.
The claw malfunction?
Yeah.
Guest walked away.
Yeah.
$3,000 winner.
Yeah. They tracked
Brandon
him down.
Rios, the rock star surveillance director at Circa, followed the case, followed the guest,
Yep.
and met her out on Fremont Street.
Let her know.
Tell her that,
Yeah.
come on back, you just won $3,000.
By the way, we played one of those claws at G2E, and I didn't even get the ball, and it told me I won. You know what I mean? So I could see where, that made a mistake. I still would have won, that kind of thing. But yeah, so those kinds of things are absolute nonsense. And when someone starts starting a narrative, you have to be suspect. All of these, the secret sauce and everything else
Mickey
is just.
DeMoe.
Anyway, so we'll knock it. Okay. Where are we at? Do we have any questions?
We don't have super chats.
Yeah, but we have questions.
Just people talking about. Thanks for bringing up dealers having fun with customers.
Yeah.
Playing in North Michigan casinos. The dealers were fun as can be. Vegas now, nope.
Yep.
Coming out Saturday.
Yeah. I got to say, that's the number one. I'll be honest with you, even with all the value plays, we see a lot of people come into Casino Quest, and that's their number one complaint, is they're always asking us, where's the most fun table to be? I sometimes feel like there is a lot of negativity here. There has been for a little while. The last 6 months have been tough. Their tokes are down.
Well, look at the market
Traffic is down.
research that you just did.
Yeah.
If you're an operator
Yeah.
and you're paying attention tonight,
Yeah.
you've got an opportunity
You really
to be the
do.
friendliest dealers in the city for
Yep.
legit, not just a marketing tagline.
That's right.
But you got to earn it.
Dude, that alone could bring people.
You would dominate.
People want
If you had a value play with friendliness,
Yep.
cancel Christmas.
That's it. I really think that the brand parts of it have been diminished.
Go.
Where people are so, a lot of the operators are so price focused instead of experience focused. If you're experience focused and your brand brings in people aren't so worried about the price. The price becomes less relevant. I'm interested. I'll play on a higher limit table if I know I'm going to have a great time at that table. You know what I mean? Price becomes less important. It's this economic model of utility. I'm willing to pay more, when the experience, I know I'm going to get the experience that I'm looking for out of that thing. But if I'm not, then it's a double whammy. I'm not, the price sucks, the experience sucks. Then what am I doing? And then it all translates. It just compounds itself, all the way down the chain. I really think that I miss the brand. I miss the Steve Wins. I miss the all these personalities and these characters. Bill Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, well, Derek Stevens.
Derek Stevens, yeah. Well, he's out there now, just meeting people.
Yeah.
And saying hello. He's one of the last bosses that do that.
You can cut into him every night.
Yeah.
He's there on the weekend. He's
You can
accessible.
literally go meet the owner. Really, like literally right there.
There's
In
a lot
fact,
to be said for
he
that.
was hosting when the transition of the gate every night at 5:00, from my understanding. He was literally hosting sort of that whole transition to the ETG thing. So it's a very interesting thing. All right, are there any actual questions besides the commentary for us?
There's one person asking about. They say you guys mentioned a lot of deals in the strip, but is there any deals around like local casinos?
Yeah. So like any dealers, like fun dealers?
No, like deals. Like.
Oh, deals, yeah. So all the station properties, they have this. They have deals now where you can. Well, here's a deal.
You want me to go $6 burger on
You can $6 burger, dude.
$5.99 burger.
Which is it's a great burger. It's literally if you
Not
have
on
a
the
player's
menu, you
card,
gotta
just
know.
get a player's card,
now.
$5.99, and you have like
with the
dinner.
card, $5.99.
$2.99 margaritas or $1.99. What is it?
$1.99.
$1.99 and then $3 beers. Is that what it is? $3 beers. If you can use our coupon code Casino QST, I'll just give that out, dude. We've been reserving it, but we're working on a new promotion. So Casino QST, you can only use it online, and you can save 25% off any rack rate anytime they have a room available. That's our corporate code. But God bless you. Just by definition, any of the station properties, I know, right? Because it's free parking. It's mitigated resort fees, right? They don't have it's not absurd, you know what I mean?
It's not $45.
It's accessible, and then they have cheaper food options. The charcoal room at Palace Station is so good. The calamari is the best in town.
I'm a big fan.
And Dennis will tell you, because he's a bougie-ass steakhouse visitor now, because he's been to a lot of them, dude. What's the one that we absolutely, like you guys, Delmonico, we paid ridiculous amounts of money. It was one of the worst
Venetian?
experiences. Delmonico the Venetian, yeah. Expecting this sort of bougie, thing.
How about, Dennis, did you make Golden Steer?
We did get Golden Steer. We're not a big fan.
Credit card melter.
Yeah, it's
They'll
literally,
melt your credit
they
card.
really will. It's just, we tried.
Karen and I went there for a big anniversary.
Yeah.
And that was back in my drinking days, too. So
Yeah.
the bottle of wine, the
God.
monster steaks,
Wow.
tableside everything,
Yeah.
Caesar, tableside
Yeah.
dessert. Yeah.
Melter.
Woo! Dude.
But Frank Sinatra was there. Oh
Yep,
my God.
But Frank ate right next to
I know.
right around the next
Dennis
booth.
has a theory that when people go to some of these places like Bizarre Meat, they just lose their minds. So the first thing they do when they sit you at Bazaar Meat, the hostess, as she's walking you to the table, tells you how great a place it is. Hey, we're 5-star. They have this whole, literally the whole walk over. She's like,
script. You got the script.
yeah, we're 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. And then we sat down. We had 7 things, 7 appetite. We ate little plates because we wanted to try everything out. We didn't have 7 steaks. We had 7. Okay, 7. And we weren't impressed. I'm sorry,
Did you
but
go to In-N-Out after?
we like his some of his other Jose Andres. We like some of his other stuff, but we weren't impressed with Bazaar Meat. We didn't like Delmonico Steakhouse. We love Circus Steakhouse.
Yeah.
We loved Charcoal Room. It's so cheap. It's
Charcoal
$50,
Room.
dude,
Come on.
for steaks.
Yeah.
$55. You can't do that anymore. It's not a thing, dude.
You're selling beyond sold.
And if you're there twice, they'll recognize you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, some
Try being a former director going in there.
I
It's
know.
Nice.
Oh, really? Oh,
really
yeah.
great.
They must love you, dude.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's such a missed opportunity. All right, ready? I guess we're gonna wind this down a little bit. We got like 10 more minutes. If you guys want to pose some questions, now's the time. I know. So the value, Ellis Island, by the way, as a casino, is one of the best values. I mean, with everything, the yard is really fantastic,
Front yard.
and their legendary
I can't
barbecue.
wait to get up to that.
Yeah,
that
and they have
rooftop.
the rooftop now, which is beautiful.
Can you imagine that for F1?
I posted, yeah, but you got to pay out the nose if you're going to have a line of sight with F1. I'm sure they got to charge, no? It does. I think F1 will, I don't know how that works.
I think this year they're not charging.
This year they're not doing that? Yeah. Because they were like taping up windows and stuff. You couldn't look unless you're willing to
right.
pay them. And Ellis doesn't want that. They're not. They're really the
They're
value.
a long-term play.
They're literally, yeah.
they're not in it for the weekend.
They push back on all that, which I love, by the way.
How much respect do you have
Dude.
for the Ellis family to invest $100+ million and not raise a price?
Dude, it's
That
so crazy.
screams value, man.
That's
why they're number one for me.
They really, yeah, it's a fantastic
I love
place.
Palace.
And Nick Fava is going to be
I love Nick.
one of the legendary, hosts. He's a young guy, very, very smart, very eloquent. Just moving up the started at slot something. Now
I'm
he's
so
like
proud of Nick.
marketing director. He's really
Yeah.
but he's been here, and his communication skills are next level. I'm in Ellis.
And for a young guy to create
Yep.
his own brand,
No, it's
with his
fantastic.
jackets, his
Everything.
whole thing,
Everything.
he's amazing.
No, he's
I love
really a
that guy.
special,
He's
very
awesome.
unique individual. Yeah.
And Steve Sear,
Yeah, Steve
got-
Sear. Well,
right?
Steve Sear would either be selling cars or gambling, host. Steve Sear is old school, dude. We love Steve. He has a great personality. You know what I mean?
He's awesome.
And he's the kind of host that makes everybody, feel welcome. You know what I mean? So I think that's what makes him so different. He doesn't he doesn't get in your pocket. He's very down to earth. He's had a very real life. That's the other thing.
He's seen all the.
He's
seen a lot.
He's been down and out like me.
Okay? He's seen it all. He's seen a lot.
You know what I mean? He's seen,
You know?
he's seen everything. I think people that have money, some people that have money, that kind of attitude translates. You know what I mean? Because I could care less if you have money. That doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah, I want you to be a good person, and then we can talk, right? And then we
Yeah,
just
sure.
relate. He's literally that guy. His life hasn't been easy. He's had a tough life, tough road. Yeah. But so one thing, I talked to Ella's sister, and I asked her, how when are you going to get rid of the $5 game? Because everybody is moving up. And she said, oh, no, we're never getting rid of the $5 game because it's the culture. That's the culture of Ellis. Isn't that crazy? From the literally the horse's mouth, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was so stunned that anyone would say that. I thought she was going to start talking about the money and how they needed to run the game, whatever. No, culture. Wasn't about money or profits, just culture.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
We definitely have a few questions.
All right, go right ahead.
From Dan Harding 8546.
Yes.
How close are the scales to tipping where the casino has to win back the gambler in Vegas?
Oh. Yeah, no, this is.
Well, that's a good question.
I think the scales
that
are
was-
already there.
You brought it up in the first minute.
Yeah,
Is it the tipping point?
100%.
I think when executives like Bill Hornbuckle get out on the front page and say maybe we've misjudged, maybe it's time to reset.
Yeah, because there's not
But
enough
we just
of these.
talked about a lot of things that could be adjusted.
That's right.
A lot of opportunity out there.
There is not enough of these cream of the crop people where price is no object to fill up all these rooms and to keep all the dealers open, the slots open.
Yeah.
There just isn't. And if you look at where Vegas is right now, and it is a wake-up call, 100%. they need the gambler to come back in droves. They have to do something because regardless of the entertainment, like we're an entertainment destination now.
Sure.
We're a food destination. We're sports, spa, and all those things. That's great. But these are upper echelon type of things, right? Because listen, I guarantee you those when they build that Oakland A's stadium, right? That those boxes aren't going to go cheaply. Even the nosebleed probably not going to go cheaply.
Dude,
you see?
I put down for $20 you can get on the waiting list.
Ah.
Right? So I send them $20. Now I get the mail.
Yeah.
They just sent out the survey, the pricing on the tickets.
It's crazy, right? But you know who?
I thought I was going to be able to retire soon.
No, really?
I got to keep grinding.
But when you talk about the whole floor,
Yeah.
holistically, the whole property,
Yeah.
filling up those rooms, filling up those parking lots, getting people in, sit the ass in chairs,
Well,
you need the gambler.
I hear you. Listening to the CEO of Caesars the other day talking about we're trying to get rid of the grind.
Yeah.
We want more elbow room for the bigger players. That's a tough hustle. Good luck with that.
I mean, listen, I heard the CEO of Mercedes-Benz tell me that he came out and said L is a dirty word. They want to, you know, I love it when these executives sort of mid-stride try to recreate. They have this new vision. They're going to recreate. They're going to have a new destiny. L is not a dirty word if you're Mercedes-Benz. You're literally on brand. If you take that away, you're your own, you know, issue, right? I mean, we can go back. I could circle back and have this whole brand discussion, you know, over and over and over again. But that experience, because I guarantee you, Jay Sarno would be having a different conversation. Do you know they ripped out the fountains because they want to push in the promenade? They're in the process right now. If you guys are about to come to Vegas and you come back,
Caesars fountains are gone?
they're gone. They're now, the rotunda is going to be gone in a minute. You know,
Dude, if they could get rid of the volcano,
they got rid of the volcano. It was for
nothing's safe.
nothing. Yeah,
Nothing's
no, that's
safe.
true.
Nothing's sacred. If the volcano goes,
Yeah, because what they're doing is they're taking away from the brand. You know, that is a brand experience.
well,
Those fountains
I think
are part of the
they're
brand.
trying to recreate, I guess.
They're going Lux Light, dude. They're going this whole other direction. I guarantee that these owners would be pushing back. So I
Well, you don't
100%
have-
tipping
What's
point.
different? You don't have the iconic owner, the Steve Wynn's, the Sheldon Adelsons, Kirk Kerkorians. Those guys aren't around. So now
Yeah.
it's boardrooms. and
Yep.
Vici Capital, or
Yep.
you know what I mean? Or,
You know what a great story is that speaks to this is Bill Bennett, Sahara. The
Circus.
and Circus, yeah, he owned all that land. I think his family still has like a piece somewhere, or you know what I mean. But he calls up, so the dealers aren't having a great week. He calls up a whole bunch of his friends, right? I got this, by the way, from one of the kind of a legendary pit boss that
On
I
the
knew from
square?
the go. Yeah, this is supposedly a true story. He calls up some of his friends. He said, "Listen, I'm going to run a crap table, open it just for you. Everybody's got to come in 10,000, and you better toke big for the dealers. I'm going to come down. I'm going to watch that game." Yeah. And sure enough, they rolled enough money into that table where every dealer went home with $1,000, supposedly. I don't know exactly what the toke envelope was, but you know. How about getting somebody on the phone and doing that? You know what I mean? Like making that a
let's
thing.
talk about this for a minute. You guys are on the pulse.
Yeah.
How's Tokes in town?
Tokes and depends where you go.
It's
So
a big five.
the Big Five is
They still making
is
100,000?
still doing well, still doing the 100,000. There's a couple that probably will fall under that. Last year was a banner year for Tokes. Some of them did, you know,
Yeah, I
they
called
had
some friends that said
records.
it's the most I've ever made.
Yeah, last year was great for everybody. There were even some casinos that moved past what their normal threshold is and started making a lot more. This year, the mid-level properties are definitely taking it, are getting affected. The dealers aren't.
You told me about an unbelievable number down that.
Dude, El Cortez dealers are doing great. So there's an example of a brand. Adam and Patrick down there are creating a brand for gamblers. Gamblers are going there. It's the El Cortez, by the way. When you say that to people who've been here around here a while, they're like, holy, by the way, if you walk in there right now, you would not believe it.
Jackie Gone, Bugsy Siegel.
I mean-
I was in their conference room.
Yeah.
During COVID, UNLV got invited to help them reopen.
Yeah.
Mr. Epstein invited us down.
Yeah, Mr. Epstein, yeah.
So I'm in the conference room and with all the legendary.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What a step back in time.
It was.
It was it was a rush just to be in the room.
I used
and
to play
Mr.
Keno.
Epstein, I mean,
Yeah.
there's an owner.
Yeah, he's an
There's
owner.
not-
He
not-
lives there.
There's not the the board of directors you got
No.
to go through.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Epstein making the call.
And that's why I like, so Adam, their GM, is a fantastic individual, very down to earth, very proactive. You know, he recognized, listen, I love it when people can just, you know, are open to new ideas. You know, they're not just built into this old school way of thinking, because there's an evolution, right? And now the evolution is, you know, I really believe this gambler, this other experience has to be created now that takes into consideration how young people are interacting with the space,
that's the key
right?
to victory.
That's the key to victory. Young people, by the way, they want to play, but casinos aren't rolling out the red carpet, dude. They're going to old school. Young people love old, dude, some of these young people, they know hard rock, classic rock. They love live experiences. It's a shame that we're not letting them participate the way they want to. But in order to do that, you need people with vision, who are innovative, who want to create this new space, create this new opportunity. All right, what else?
It takes fortitude too.
It does take some fortitude. You got to grab them.
You got to put it out there. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things you shared with me today, your
Yeah.
app and things like
Yeah.
that. That's awesome stuff. That's going to take a lot of stones to put it out there.
CQ app is coming. Here. We have an app that's coming. And I want to create a scenario for you, a story that I wrote today for our newsletter. But imagine this. You're playing blackjack, right? There's a lot of apps out there where you can play blackjack. But our blackjack, right? You'll load up your bank account that you create with your virtual money. You withdraw as you would to go to any other table. You belly up to the blackjack table. Now you figure out what you're going to play. You know, whatever your favorite casino is, you load up that rule set. You know, whether they surrender, allow for surrender, 3-2 blackjack, where the table minimums are, and you play through the shoe. Okay, now imagine you have a system, you play basic strategy. Now along the way, there's little hints that you can open up the hint card that tells you, hey, you should hit or double. So it's an education application, but you don't need to use that. You can just play a strategy that you know, right? You go through the shoe. When you're done with the shoe, you give it a name. You save the shoe. And then you go through and you play a different strategy and see what the outcome is. Same cards, same cards, same setup. Different result potentially, right? Then you run out of time. You're like, you know what, I got to get to work. I got stuff to do, right? So you save the shoe, and in 2 seconds, you run it. You run it against 3 or 4 other strategies, and it tells you which strategy would have worked best against the shoe. Now imagine this. You're sitting at the same table, and you choose to have other people at your table. They could be live, or they could be NPCs, essentially bots, right? You could be at the center. You could be at first base, center, third base. You could have a drunk tourist at third base taking making these dumbass decisions
Nicky
and impacting. Right? and it goes on and on. We are building the most immersive, true-to-life gambling, learning, education app in existence. Now imagine this. Guess what? You'll be able to turn the table around and be the dealer if you want. You'll be able to learn order of operations. There'll be flashcards for how the table works. You'll learn communication etiquette on the table. By the way, this is for all games. Okay, this is for all games. And if you happen to be a dealer, there'll be a dealer tab that opens up, and you'll be able to play and interact. Order of operations for craps, everything. Wow. Just completely immersive. You'll be able to invite your friends to play with you. You'll be able to deal to your friends if you want to. Now we have there's going to be a social part of this app. And this is what we are I want to create a community. So we have Big Bird Society for people that, come with some money. I'm getting a private table, trying to get his dinner, all that stuff. We go out together as a team. We start here at CQ. We plan. We come with a strategy. We plan what we're going to do. Then we go out, we hit the table, we win, we lose, but we have a good time.
You walk through it right on the table.
We literally, right here.
You do the walkthrough.
We do the walkthrough. Yeah. Then we show up at the casino.
Your whole team understands the presses. It's awesome.
And you got David with you. You got your big bank. We got the coach.
You're the biggest of the birds.
I'm the big bird, dude. I built the little bird. Then we have the Little Bird Society, which is, by the way, almost. If you want to be a little bird, you better get busy. I'm running out of shirts. We ordered 150 shirts, dude. Little Birds have been just launching. So it's Alex goes out, gets a to
the Rio.
To the Rio. The next one's at Ellis.
Okay.
Reserve game. Low roller. Those of you who like to play $5, sometimes even $3, you go out with Alex. It's a reserve table, and you just have a ton of fun. It's not about winning. It's about the community. But here's the thing. You get a Little Bird shirt, and we're going to follow you around and take pictures of all the little birds in a line, dude. There's a picture that on cqnexus.com/little bird that says it all. That picture is worth 1,000. You'll see Alex is the big, can we say cock? He's the big cock, the rooster. Isn't the rooster a cock? Isn't that what they call it? Okay,
In
he said
South Carolina.
in South Carolina. And then there's a whole bunch of little chicks. You know what I mean? And so he's the head chick, and then there's a lot of other chicks.
Does everybody understand what the bird means?
The little So you can tell what the bird. It's a quarter.
$25 chip.
$25 chip. When we were younger, it was 25 cents.
25 cents.
We called it a bird game. Yeah,
Yeah.
25. Now it's a big bird is $25 check. You know what I mean?
Huge bird.
That's a big bird. But it's all about community. But here's the most important. By the way, this gives Chris this. So if Chris is watching, if he watches this back, so there's bosses out there. Their sphincter gets tight. It's so tight. We talk about the player union. So imagine if you have enough people in a community, right? Because that's what it's about. It's about the experience. It's about people. People want to gamble and have fun. Most people are happy and recognize they're going to lose money. They're coming with entertainment money. We want you to come. Money is just for entertainment. Gambling is entertainment, right? So, but you want to have fun. You want to be entertained. You want to have a really good time, right? That's the whole idea. You want to be with other people. You want to have this sense of community. If we have enough people, they're going to come through us. And then we're going to go to the casino that gives us the best, you know what I mean? The best whatever. The best dealers, the best experience, the best food, the best prices, whatever the case is. We'll be like, listen here. We got 150 players that want to come in on a Tuesday, and we want to light up your casino. What are you going to do for us? You know what I mean? And
I wish you called me when I was running,
right?
running my stores.
Because that would have been, no dead games on a Tuesday or a Sunday afternoon.
Management felony, dead game.
I know. So that's what we're trying to do.
Make a move.
And if we can move enough players, the casinos are gonna, it is what it is. I call it the player union. I hate using that word.
Yeah.
But
Society.
it's a community. It's a society. Yeah.
Society.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. All right. What else do we got? We got to wrap this up because some of us have curfews.
Well, from Paul Cody.
We'll do 3 more. Yeah.
What is the professor's vision for the future of Vegas?
Oh, the future of Vegas, Professor.
I think the future's bright. I really do. I think Las Vegas is always going to evolve. It's always going to take the next step. Mm-hmm. The sports scene is just exploding now with NCAA championship games, and where do you see what goes? The events that they're bringing into Allegiant Stadium. Mm-hmm. I think the future is very, very bright for Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I do. I think we need to make some adjustments, but it's again like we talked about earlier. The guest has to understand who they are, and then participate where it works for you.
Use their money.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I will say this: no matter how negative you think I might get sometimes about or ranting about specific, there's really, really good people here. There's about 200 people that move Vegas, and by most of them are very talented. They're very capable individuals.
They're too talented.
Yeah.
They're too sharp.
Yeah.
They're too dedicated.
Yeah.
Guys like Dr. Bo.
Yeah.
Do you think Dr. Bo's going to let Vegas go sideways?
Yeah.
Everything in his power, and and collectively,
yeah.
When it's time to circle the wagons,
Yeah.
Vegas circles the wagons.
It really does.
They really do. And what's going to be best for the town? Mm-hmm. What's best for Las Vegas? Not what's best for me.
Yeah.
Not what's best for my joint.
The Little Bird is not at Ellis, it's at Palace.
Oh, it is at Palace? Oh, the next Little Bird is at Palace. Okay, my bad. Well, I if you want to be a little bird, just go to cqnexus.com/little bird. And then once you get in the access group, then Alex updates all the events and where they're at. So we're trying not. But so wherever, you just look up there, everything will be up there on the date. You got to pick up the shirt here, though. Are we mailing it? We're mailing the shirts, or you can pick it up here.
Yeah.
Big Bird Society, you got to pick up the shirts here. All right, well, that's good to know. But we're not letting that information out, by the way. I don't know why I said it. Well, you got to get the damn shirt, dude. We don't want to just show up anonymously. We got to get the picture. You got to be in uniform, dude. But I do think that So already there's a lot of real value in Vegas now. Casinos are going out of their way now to promote all these deals. There's a shit ton of deals.
Yeah.
You can literally get a room at Excalibur for $12 the other day.
If you're expecting to go to the Wynn on short money, you're at the wrong place.
Yeah.
But if you got short money, there's plenty of short money places to go to where you can have a wonderful time.
But I think Wynn is still on brand. Wynn is a luxury property.
They have to be on brand.
The food is fantastic. They've created a great experience there, by and large.
Are
if
you
you're
an
going to the Wynn,
SW guy?
I love the Wynn. Yeah.
What's not to love?
Yeah, I love the Wynn. I think that's one. Like I would say, Venetian and the Wynn are some of the properties that are still on brand. You go to the Venetian, has Restaurant Row, has all this sort of interactivity. I like Venetian. I like the Wynn. If there are other properties I feel like have lost their way, need to come back. I'm looking forward to Hard Rock's Guitar. I will say that's going to light up the Strip. I think that's going to create a very interesting
What a
dynamic.
company.
Yeah,
That-
the Seminoles.
They're rocking the universe, man.
Really? Yeah.
They're opening up a major place in Greece.
Yeah.
It's going to be big time.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
doing
they're
great
all over.
things.
Yeah. All right, what else you got? Let's do one more.
One more?
Yeah.
Alright. From buy stocks, does Vegas need to attract more gamblers or non-gamblers to turn this strip around?
Both.
Yeah, both. That's an easy answer.
Yeah, you need both. I mean, gambling's never going to go away, but the amenities are never going to go away.
Yeah.
The capital investment on these amenities,
Yeah.
what they spend on these spas, these stadiums, you got to keep moving forward.
That's
But
right.
Everybody has to define what their gaming product's going to be. That's
Yeah.
what they got to do, and play to what you've been preaching.
Mm-hmm.
You got to identify your brand, stick to it, be loyal, and market to your base.
So, all right, I'm going to leave you with this a little bit. I had a very interesting conversation with the GM of a property, and we got into, I wouldn't say an argument, but a disagreement. And this GM, Strip GM, was talking about how they've evolved the property to meet evolving consumer demand. You know, where consumers, in their eyes, have been moving to this other thing, away from gambling, into the amenity-rich properties, right? They're looking for the spa, looking for the rooms, and all these other stuff, right? I feel like that's not completely true. I feel like the properties are making those investments and happily moving people into this, sort of funneling them into these other areas so they can slowly erode the gambling parts of it, the gambling focus, right? Because, you know, what else is there to do if there are less tables and less slots, and now you have a big fat spa and you have 10 more restaurants, and you know what I mean? You've created this other conversation, and then slowly you are sort of recreating what that destination is. You see what I mean? So I don't think it's necessarily the consumer that has pushed that. And in fact, if you're in my shoes and you're here at Casino Quest talking to, the biggest complaint is the fact that gamblers they feel like they're mistreated. Like they're like the second class now. If you're coming for a $1,500 steakhouse meal, you have like this better, when the same money on a gambling table means less.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But if you're going to go to, you know what I mean? So like the whole relationship has changed. Like what happened?
$1,500 on the table.
Yeah.
Is common thing.
Yeah.
$1,500 at the restaurant, they're throwing rose petals.
Free money, you see?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not so much about the evolving consumer trends. The biggest miss for me is if you run the numbers, so many bosses will tell you how millennials or Gen Zs, they're not coming to Vegas. They don't want to spend their money. They're very they're living with their parents, and there's always this same conversation. But the truth of it is that underneath that's the truth. Do you know that only 7% of Gen Zs identify gambling as the reason to come to Vegas? So this was a recent poll that was done. That's a terrible number, by the way, and it feeds all the fear that these operators have about let's just not worry about Gen Z right now. Let's focus on our age of people, right? Let's focus on us working the stakes. But what they miss is the bigger number is the number of Gen Zs that are looking for real life experiences, that are joining these, running clubs and hiking clubs and camping clubs, and they're playing D&D together. Tabletop games. They're not playing them at home on their vid. They're literally playing. Dungeons & Dragons has a revival now of these groups playing together in real life. The nerds are winning. You know what I mean? Jets people are winning out on this. They
got dough.
And they do have money because they're living with mom and dad. They want to come to Vegas and have this experience, but they can't do it unless the casino lets them. They don't want to be yelled at for taking out their phone. They don't want to be yelled at for taking, because that's part of it. They have to, the selfies, the social media. And listen, let's be honest. If me and you had phones when we were young, we'd have had them out too, dude. I miss so many. When I was in the military, I have one little disc thing left of that survived through all my homeless and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we didn't have cameras. We didn't have phones. You couldn't
God.
record, right? Really? I would have loved to have recorded something, But young people want to engage the way they know how to engage. They don't want to get in trouble for it. They don't want to constantly be, scurried around. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
So how do you have to rebuild the casino, dude. You have to create this other experience. And the first operator that does it is going to win the long game. You watch. But again, you need someone with some fortitude, with some vision, with some money to burn, because it doesn't. That was the thing about some of these operators is they had the money to burn. They just burned their own money. They took risks,
Yeah.
even if it sucked.
Yeah.
Look at the Strat. The Strat was a big risk. They didn't make any money for Stupak. He made him nothing. He was broke, pushed out.
How many people said the Mirage was going to fail, having to make $1 million?
$1 million a day.
They did that on their head.
They literally just
did that
that
before
was
lunch.
they printed that.
They
It
did
was
that before
unbelievable.
lunch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you were there. You got to see the whole thing. That's what
awesome.
makes it. It was your career is absolutely incredible.
I've been really blessed.
You have to look up this guy's career. We got to go, but oh my God, I could talk to you forever, dude.
Yeah. I really appreciate you having me, man.
Sir,
I really
good to see you back.
wish
Thank
you and your team all the best. It's always a pleasure to be involved
Yeah.
with you guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's a
Thanks,
wonderful
everybody.
day. Yeah. All right, we're gonna sign off. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Hopefully, we'll get to do more of these. I really miss doing these. I love these. Yeah. All right. See you guys. Take care. I'm off to keto, literally to unwind.